to begin today by talking about the new series, like new to Voces series, Go, Vive, a tu manera, which we just released on Monday. And the activities that accompany it were created by Elissa Quinatoa. Did I say that right? Okay. And Kara Jacobs, who are here with us tonight to answer your guys' questions, kind of explain their approach with the activities. And we'll do that for like the first 20, 25 minutes, and then we can transition to our normal meeting. And I say that in part for any French, Italian, or German teachers who are here. But we'll just kind of play it by ear as always. So anyone have any questions to begin? Have you guys gotten a chance to check it out and like look at the videos, watch any of the episodes?
Not yet. I went on Netflix and I watched the episodes on Netflix because I couldn't wait. I watched several episodes.
Oh, good.
But I haven't seen the actual questions or exercises after the episodes.
So maybe at some point, either I can share my screen or Elissa or Kara, if you want to. In fact, I'll make it so that you can right now.
Okay, I can do that.
Awesome.
And we can just start in, and if anyone wants to ask any questions, just interrupt us.
That sounds like a plan.
All right, Elissa, I'll start, and let me just share my screen. So there we go. Okay. It's been a while since I've been on Zoom, which is so nice. So first, just a little bit about the show. The show Go, Vive, a tu manera. It's set in Argentina. It is. I've been using it since, I don't know, a couple of years now since it came out, and it is super cheesy. It is the music. It's super cheesy. The music. It's almost like High School Musical, I guess. And I found that the one nice thing about it is it's totally appropriate, which other shows that people have Spanish teachers use in class, like El Internado and then Gran Hotel, those are not, El Internado especially is not that appropriate, right? But this one doesn't have any swearing. From my perspective, I should say it's totally appropriate for high school. You know, everyone has their own views on that, but I think it's pretty appropriate. But it's very cheesy. I started using it, and students, you know, I kind of set the bar low, which I think I was really excited about it. But if we're excited about things and we tell them this is going to be great, you're going to love it, they're not. So we just kind of say, well, we're going to use it to learn some Spanish, and it's a show, but it's kind of easy. But then they end up kind of love hating it, I think, is what I have found. So I had been using it. I've worked with Erin in Nuestra Historia for AP and 4, and I kept saying, "Oh, come on, can we get something like this on your site? Would be perfect. It's perfectly set up." So we were so excited when she got it. And then Elissa and I, we worked together in a high school in New Hampshire, and we this summer created all these activities to go along with the series. So Voces, or Nuestra Historia, has licensed, or not Nuestra Historia, just Voces, right? So it's in all titles. Okay. Has licensed 10 episodes of it, and the episodes are about 40 minutes long. And let's see, you can see my screen, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for each episode, this is for episode 1, we've divided them up into 1 to 6 parts, and they're about 6 to 7 minutes long. And then there's a variety of activities. And actually, Elissa, I'll let you in just a minute kind of talk about the different activities. I'll talk about what I used to do, and then you can talk about how you suggested that we make it better. So when I've used a television series, I've always watched them. It takes a really long time. We both watched a lot of Go and would write up comprehensible summaries. So we have novice activities and intermediate, which is so exciting. But I would always just have kind of a text, and we would read it we'd watch with Spanish subtitles. Students would not understand a lot of it, but not English subtitles, because then they understand everything. So we watched the Spanish subtitles, and then afterwards we would do an activity with comprehensible language that would explain what just happened. So I would always do a text and kind of a closed activity. We do it together in class. Elissa and I have been using it. She's using it this week, the show. I used it last week, but on Fridays is kind of our rhythm that we'll get into. And but then Elissa was using a lot of the activities and said, I think we can make them better. So Elissa, do you want to kind of talk about, I can walk through and show the screen here, and you can talk about the different activities that we have. And it's kind of this for all of the episodes. So if you want to talk about that. So this is the first segment of episode 1.
Yeah, so the activities that we kind of made, I was doing like the clothes, which was really great. But I found that like the students just like they needed something different, especially since we usually do it on Friday. So we wanted something that could be, like an activity online, but could also be adapted to be like a quick game or something like that. And I actually, this week, as I've been doing it, I've actually been kind of teaching the episode with like a game. So using like the same questions that they have online, and then having them do the activities afterwards. And they go from like, I've been checking in with them, like, how well did you understand? And so like, after they watch the episode, they're like, I didn't understand anything the first time. And then we do like the game and they're like, okay, I kind of get it now. And then they do the activity and they're like, oh, okay, I understand. So it's kind of neat to see how the activities really help them understand what's going on. So for part 1, we kept the listening closed, or the reading closed, just to kind of give them a lot of information about what's going on in that part of the beginning of the episode. And that stays pretty consistent for all of the episodes, I think. And then the second part, as Kara was showing, goes into like some cierto falsos. So those are some that like we could also adapt into being a game. So like I'll play like the marker game. I don't know if you've heard of that. But like I'll say one of these statements, and the students, if it's true, they grab the marker. They have like a partner, they try to grab it first. If it's false, they don't do anything. So I kind of like pre-do that after watching the episode, and then have them go online and do this. So then by the time they get to these, they really understand what's going on in the show.
And can I chime in on that process there that she just described? So that when we think about language acquisition, first they hear it and then they read it. So they're seeing, some incomprehensible language, but it's authentic, which is exciting. They're reading the subtitles, they're catching some of it. Then it's comprehensible input, listening, and then it's the reading, the same thing. So that's a great process, and it's auto graded, which is so nice.
Yeah, and then as we go through, part 3 is usually like a question and answer. And as you guys can see, it kind of is broken up into like smaller sections. So we had originally had, like a list of like 20 questions with a bunch of different answers. And so when it got put on Voces, it kind of decided it would be best to break it up and kind of limit those choices between not having all of the answers for the students to have to like choose from all of them. So it's broken up into 2 parts. And then part 4, this is the one that I'm actually finding is really challenging for the students, especially in the first episode and probably in the first few episodes, who did it and who said it, because they still are like not quite sure who all the characters are. So they're still kind of getting used to who the characters are. So this one, like we did it together. Okay, so a lot of them for the first episode, we kind of did together, and I explained and showed pictures like these are the characters, these are their names, for like who would do it, who would say it, and so that's like part 4. And then another one we have is the next one is part 5, which I think is the pictures. Yes, so matching the pictures with the description, and the pictures go in order with what happened in the episode. So today I actually watched, I even watched just like 2 minutes for like that first group of pictures, and then had them do the activities, and then 2 more minutes do the activities. So that's a great way for them to kind of recognize and just like describe what's happening in each scene. And then the last one, we kind of circled back and finished up with another reading and filling in the missing words. And those stay pretty consistent. I think, Kara, if I remember correctly, I think when we get about halfway through the episodes, we changed up the order a little bit. but yeah, those
Yeah.
are the activities. And the novice, so I worked on the novice activities. Kara did a lot of the intermediate ones. And what we really tried to focus on in the novice was kind of describing like what the characters were doing as much as possible, as opposed to focusing on their exact words in the episode. And then when Kara did like the intermediate, it's more focused on, you know, picking up pieces of the dialogue in the episode. So the novice is more like just describing the general idea, what they're doing, and the intermediate is a little more focused on the actual dialogue.
And another thing that we did for the kind of the similar activities in the intermediate might be who said it in their exact quotes, but in the novice, it's who would say it. So it's kind of like an adapted quote, not a quote exactly from the series.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's you said a couple of things I was going to say about the intermediate. So one thing that I'm really excited about for intermediates is I have right now I have a level 4-5, and I give a weekly homework assignment. And right now they're listening to a podcast, but I'll switch that after 5 or 6 weeks. And I'm so excited to just be able to give them this as weekly homework assignment, because they're watching a Netflix show and then they're doing some quick activities that they're not too challenging, and I can set it up. Nuestra Historia, I was just going in and assigning something for tomorrow and giving them 3 attempts. I really like that they can redo that and just keep reading, get 100. That's fine. That's actually what we want you to do. So I'm excited to be able to offer this as a choice homework for my upper levels. And then I even have some students who are in AP second semester, but for a scheduling reason, they don't have Spanish right now. So I'm going to see those 4 students tomorrow and offer this to them as well. Because for the upper level students to be able to do it just on their own at their own speed, that's really great. That authentic listening is so key, but at all levels too. So.
Yeah, and one of the things that kind of talking about having it auto graded that my students have already mentioned is they really like the way that it's auto graded because it will tell them which one is wrong, but it won't tell them what the right answer is. So they'll get to see, like, if you give them 2 attempts, they'll get to see like, okay, these 2 are marked wrong. And then they'll have to kind of figure out what they think the answer is. And then they can just go and submit their second attempt. So they're able to see what they got wrong as they're doing their second attempt. And they really like that because they're like, well, that doesn't tell you exactly what the answer is. So you still have to keep thinking and try to figure it out.
And the other thing to mention is so it has just the Spanish subtitles, which Erin and I had talked about at the beginning, and Elissa and I have talked a lot about it too. We really feel that's all the way to go, and students eventually they adjust, and as you move forward, it's amazing how much they will actually start to understand, and it's a pretty cool feeling for them. So there's only Spanish subtitles, because if you show the English subtitles, they would have no need to do these other activities to kind of understand what's going on. But also they can slow it down. So there's normal speed, slow speed, and extra slow speed. So I haven't really played around with that yet, but I'm curious to see if students will play around with that and listen to it at slow speed. So that's another great option for students. I just love.
Hey, Kara.
Oh, yeah.
This is Chris. Can I jump in here
Hi,
for
Chris.
1 second?
Yeah.
So if you refresh the page, so the link you clicked underneath will let you slow it down, but it won't have the subtitles.
Oh,
so
okay.
From this version on the up, we
refresh
want to
there.
not click the link.
Okay.
So on the Vimeo hosted version that we see first, there's that closed caption button that lets you turn the subtitles on. And then just to the right of that, if you hit settings, there's the speed control. So that will let you have both subtitles and slow it down.
Okay.
Whereas the link underneath will just slow it down, but won't have subtitle options.
Okay, that's really good to know. Thank you. And they could even speed it up to 2 speed if they wanted an extra challenge. That's great. Okay, that's really good to know. Thank you.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to point that out.
That's okay. That's a great feature. But one thing that Elissa was saying that I'm really excited about too, and I think at one point we kind of talked about putting in some videos for suggestions, because we don't want, if you decide to use this in class on like Fridays, which is such a great day, I'm excited tomorrow, that's what we do. They come in and it's just a really nice way to end the week. but to be able to adapt these activities to do in class, and I really like what Elissa was saying, you could adapt them and then still have them go online and read and do the activities, but you've kind of done the activity maybe in a different way, like a tic-tac-toe, I think Elissa did, or you can do the marker game, or you could do quick grid bingo. There's all sorts of things you could do with these activities. They don't have to be, I mean, that closed activity is kind of, it is what it is, but you could even do a fly swatter activity with the images. There's just so many things that you can do. So it's really, I can't believe that it's just in everybody's BOCES accounts now. It's so exciting. I've been using television shows for years now, and this is what I've always wanted. So it's really, thank you, Erin.
First of all, thank you. And a few other little things, just so you guys know. Well, Lynn, your question, can students watch the episodes before they are assigned? Yes, assuming, well, wait, Kara, can you click on the directory? I can't remember now if it's teacher only, but basically,
Sorry, I just
okay.
started there we go.
Oh, it isn't. So yes, students would be able to see it, but you can change that by going into the teachers panel and going into the editor and just putting an Apple icon, like teacher only icon. Yeah, like if you scroll down and then click on that and then click on at the top, up a little bit, and where it says students see, and then save it, like save the menu at the top. Oh, keep that apple there. Yep.
Oh gosh, okay.
And then save.
Oh, right up top.
Right there, yes. Now the students wouldn't be able to see it when they log in. So then you could just assign the pieces that you want them to see. Sorry, I'm looking at Chris's comment.
Yeah, so I just checked in mine, and mine is teacher only on the root menu. So I believe that the students can't see it when they first log in unless you change it over to not teacher only as opposed to the other way.
So just look for that little red apple at the level of where it says Go, Vive, to manera, novice, or intermediate level. And that will tell you. And yeah, you can definitely do that per episode as well. You can put an apple on it.
And then the nice thing, I don't think I mentioned this, but at the very end, after the 6th part, is the whole episode, if you needed that for some reason, right? So that's the whole 39-minute episode. And I think there was a question, just looking at the chat.
One thing just to throw it out there, basically so we put the novice level activities and the novice level titles and the intermediate level activities and the intermediate level titles. But if anyone wants access to the other level activities, like we can add it to your account. So just email info@vocesdigital.com or me, Erin A @vocesdigital.com. And we can really easily just add the other set of activities into your title. So, if you have a class that needs more, like if you have some students that need more challenging activities, for instance, you could have both in your one title.
And we're finding that our level 3s, because of the last couple of years, they're not ready for we're hoping that maybe they'll move over to the intermediate, and maybe the novice for our honors students might be a little bit too easy, but our level 3s right now are in the novice.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot too.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for this. Kara, I have gotten so many wonderful ideas and activities and have been so inspired by so much of the work that you've done over the years.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And thank you. And I recall a couple of years ago that you had started to post about this series. And I thought, okay, at some point I'm going to do this. And then COVID, and it just didn't fit into my schedule and kind of got off radar. So I'm so excited to see this and to be able to bring it back in. And I really do want to do the Friday viewings. Question about kind of pre-teaching. So it looks like a lot of these activities are kind of post or a little bit maybe while you're viewing, but I'm also kind of wondering about getting my kids ready for it with vocabulary or some of the character development and before we start watching? Are there some resources for that?
Yes, and Erin, we were just emailing about this today, and they're not in there yet, but she's in the process of putting them in there. So basically what there is, and it's a novice descriptions that's going to be in both the intermediate and the novice. So it's a description of the school, where it is, that it's an internado, some of that basic vocab, setting the scene, and then there's really, really basic character descriptions of each character that include like hair color and what they are.
I put some up. So if you click on the directory and go to the in your account, it will be the introduction for teachers page. That one. And scroll down, you'll see it. And I'm gonna fix the title. Oh, never mind, because you edited it. Want me to show?
Okay.
Do you want me to show?
Yeah. Do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And I'll just show really quick.
Okay. So, and they're really, really basic, but when I created those when I was using this with level 1. I have used it with level 1, even last year, I think. I don't know, the years are blending, but so the descriptions are very basic, and they were purposefully trying to teach some of those description things, and family members too.
Mhm, mhm.
And then, so that we felt, Elissa and I, right, I think Elissa, you would agree, that was really important to introduce some of the characters before you get going on the show, and just what the school is. And that was really, really important. So I'm glad that you asked that, Erin. Yeah, so Erin is in the process of putting that in there, but it's really kind of basic stuff, but we spent some time, and then we actually have, like if you go on Quizlet, you could use some Quizlet things to do some practice with those. And I think I abbreviated it like GAVTM, like go Vive tu manera. I think that's what yeah.
Yep, that's right. I used it today, so.
Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely you do need to do that pre-stuff. So, yeah, here it is. So really just like some pictures, some screenshots from the school. So St. Mary's, the name of the school, just describes the school. And then there's Mia. And you would do with the students. So Mia es una chica, what do you think? Amable, bonita, egoísta, energética y fuerte. And then you would kind of go through this with them. So that's definitely important, especially as the first scene. I think they see 6 people. I think that's right, Elissa, right? 6 people. They see, yeah. So that's a great question. Thanks for asking that.
Any other questions? Well, my colleagues and I have been putting the captions on the different parts, because of course we got the captions done for us, but they were just on the full episodes. And so we've had to like kind of copy and paste line by line all week long. But it's introduced us to the series, like kind of in a more intimate way. And oh my gosh, it's like so dramatic.
It's so silly.
It's so silly. But the songs are so good.
Yeah, you'll be singing your songs, and they love, hate it. Students love, hate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it will give them a lot to talk about, lots of like kind of like gossip about the different characters.
Yeah.
One of the things that I saw is that since the series is from Argentina, they use the voz a lot. Do you explain to your students? Because that is usually something that is not taught in regular Spanish classes.
Yeah, I do explain it as it comes up, but they also use the 2 form too. And then weirdly on Netflix anyways, they say the both forms, but then they put in the subtitles the 2 form. But anyways, right. I do talk about it, and I actually talk about how, I was just saying this to class the other day, that it's funny, they've heard of vosotros, but they've never heard of vos. And I said, that's weird, because only one country uses vosotros. We kind of looked at the map, and a whole bunch of countries use vos. One kid said Eurocentrism, and I said, yes, that is true. So it's good to talk about it, but I don't get too much into it, and then they'll just pick it up. Wouldn't you say?
They'll figure it out.
It's not.
Yeah, definitely. They kind of figure it out.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
And so our activity is that none of the activities use the voice, so it's just in the audio in the subtitles.
And some of the intermediate the intermediate quotes might have it, like it might, I can't remember, but. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think
great for them to be exposed to that, not just vosotros, but both.
Right.
Yeah, we have a proofer going over the captions as we add them. And we're discovering that the Netflix version, like no offense to Netflix, but like they're really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she's from Argentina. And so I mean, she's just doing an excellent job proofing the captions for the like sections that were, and she's catching a lot of errors and like just making it super accurate. So
that's great. So it will match. That's
Yeah,
nice. I was
yeah.
like, this is so weird. Netflix, they just, I don't know, are they lazy? Did they not know the boss form? Or I don't know.
Actually, I think, I mean, all their subtitles, like across all the languages, seem like just, you know, the same amount of imperfect.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know why, but
yeah.
Interesting.
but yeah, like, I mean, I feel like the series also introduces them to Argentinian culture, you know, to some extent, and just like little nuances within that.
Yeah, even basketball. Basketball is very popular in Argentina, and that's the big sport at the school.
And there are some Brazilian characters as well. And they speak like in half
A different accent.
pseudo Spanish with Portuguese words.
Yeah, and then they speak Portuguese. Yeah, and there's even a song in Portuguese. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Well, any other questions? I love your like both of your insights on using these in the class and like just your approach to creating them. What speed do you play the video? Lourdes is asking.
Regular speed.
Yep, regular speed.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so great that we work together now because we can, I mean, Elissa took what I had and was like, how about this? Make it much better. And it's made it much better. So it's great. And then we can talk, you know, today we're chatting and said, oh, you should share that tonight. So yeah, it's really nice. So excited. Oh, list of games for the series. Yeah, we'll have to add that, maybe Erin and the teacher.
Yeah, we definitely have a little bit more development to do with regard to that. So yeah, I'll reach out to you guys. Maybe we can get a list. And I bet if you Google, or I mean, if you search in Quizlet, you might be able to find the list.
Yeah, I can do it. And 7th and 8th graders, I think whenever anyone asks if something is appropriate, that's such a tricky question because what's appropriate to me might not be appropriate to other people.
Yeah.
So I think it is, but I would, I don't want to.
Compared to some of the things that I've seen coming from Spain, it's very appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. I just put in the chat too, one of the Quizlets so you can see, and then this is kind of that GVATM is how I kind of abbreviated it for all those intro activities anyways, that kind of Lynn was asking about. So it is Lynn, right? It's Lynn. Yeah. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, thank you.
Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, hi. So I wanted to know, how often do you watch the series with your students? In a week or in a month? How often do you watch the episodes?
So Elissa and I both, she's doing it this week and I did it last week just because we've started our classes differently, but we both spent 5 days. We have 85-minute classes. So she spent a week. We both spent a week on it. And then from here, I think you're going to end it, right? Or not end it, but yeah. Then we'll just do every Friday. Yeah. So every Friday, but it is good to spend a few days on it when you start because it's so slow. Like it's just start and think, oh my goodness, can we please move faster? But at the beginning, you go really, really slow because you're introducing the characters, going slow, you make sure they understand. And then we do it every Friday. And that's worked really well. Students love it. They love that coming in on Friday and it's kind of a pause in whatever we're doing. And I've decided I'm even in my upper level class, we're actually using a different show, but we're dedicating Fridays to that. So it works out really well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Erin, would you be sending, I could not connect earlier, would you be sending
A
a
recording?
recording of this
Yeah, just
recording? Yes.
actually I have your email, so I'll just add it to my list. But if anyone else wants a recording who's here, I'm not going to just by default be able to extend it to everyone. So just email me at aaron@vocesdigital.com and I'll get it to you tomorrow morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, but I have your email, Xenia.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And then someone asked about the speed and, you know, just like from a little perspective from a student of Spanish, which I am, as the more I listen to it, it's like it really does get easier. And with the captions, it like, you know, it kind of allows for that processing to happen a little bit quicker. So maybe trust in that normal speed and until you get like, you know, unless you get like a ton of complaints and then slow it down a little bit, maybe.
And then also I think of that slow speed could be used if students are watching on their own and they want to go back and they want to just hear a little section. That's how I imagined it being used. And someone just asked if this would be good for an AP class. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's authentic listening. And then the intermediate activities, I should put I have a list of words that as I was doing, I thought, oh, these are really good kind of AP words. We could put that in there too, but definitely for AP. That's why I'm going to assign it to my students that I don't have an AP right now, or not assign. Hopefully they'll do it. Ask them to do it. I think it's excellent for AP.
Yeah, we have, I can, we'll definitely be developing a few aspects of it. And I think another thing I wanted to do, but didn't have time in this first iteration is to add audio to some of the activities so that that's an option. I know Kara and Elissa, you guys both suggested that. So we'll be doing that eventually too.
I have another question. I know that you posted the La Escuela flashcards in the Quizlet link, which is great. Does Voces Digital also like link to any other platforms like that too?
Well, we have Blookit and
yeah.
Chris actually chatted me when Kara put that in. So yeah,
I
we'll
know,
get that
sorry. I
going.
was like, can I mention Quizlet?
Oh yeah, of course. You can, yeah,
Okay.
anything. But no, we just within Voces in the game center, Blookit is an option, and we have some like Voces lists for our unit vocabulary, but we can add one for Go too. So we'll be doing that soon as well.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, and Blookit is very fun. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question about Blookit.
Uh-huh.
So I have clicked on Blookit in Voces, but then it says, do you want to join a game? Do I have to search
So
Unit
you guys,
1 Voces or?
so as the teacher, you go to Blookit, like blookit.com. And then you like can join for free, you know, it doesn't cost any money, and you start a game, and then you'll get a code and you give your students the code, and then the students can just log into Voces, go into the game center and enter their code right there.
So they joined through Voces?
Yes, they join through Voces,
Oh.
but you are on Blookit, on your, like you're at the Blookit website, controlling the game from there. I have a video which I'll find that goes over it.
Yes, but my question is, are there any titles in Blookit that I can pick from? Like,
yeah, so if you search Voces Digital, you'll see a whole bunch of Voces Digital like sets pop up. It's like Voces Original, I think they're called.
Oh, okay.
And they correlate to specific Voces titles and units or chapters. So,
all right, because
and soon there'll be one for Go.
I've been playing Blookit for a while now, and I was wondering, because when I click on it, I couldn't find anything. I was like, how do I get into the Voces stuff?
Here, I'm putting a video on how to do it here. Because it's once you do it once, it's like, it's a simple.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. Like when you click it, you're like, what? So. Any other questions about Go? Well, I want to thank Elissa and Kara for joining us tonight. You guys have just given us a lot of insight into how to use your wonderful activities with the wonderful new series. So I really appreciate all the work you guys put into it. And by the way, they like cranked out those activities like nobody's business over the month of July. I believe it was like,
We did.
yeah.
We wanted to have no work in August, right? Yeah, we
It
did.
was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was when it was still up in the air whether we could get go for Voces. And I was just like praying that, it would all work out, and it did. So,
Yeah.
And that was why we were able to have it so early in the school year. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for your hard work and for your,
Yeah.
insight and everything on it. So
Welcome.
really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
hustling to get it.
Yeah. So
All right.
awesome.